Hey Pam! Alright, Geminis, what's going on? I'm doing our readings first. I did Virgo already. I'm doing our reading now. And then I'm going to do Taurus because it's their birthday, but also because my Mercury is in Taurus, and that's why I'm doing the Virgo and Gemini readings first as well, because the shadow of Mercury retrograde is upon us, or is about to be upon us, and my particular sensitivity because of the Gemini sun and the Virgo moon makes things go haywire, especially with those two signs, but also with Taurus because of my Mercury. And those readings get misinterpreted a lot during the retrogrades. I was able to hedge that a little in the last retrograde Gemini video because I just could feel how strong it was going to be and how hard it was going to be for us. And so this time, instead of waiting with the other, Mercury videos, I'm just getting them all done so I don't end up right in the middle of it trying to do it. Okay? So here we are, Gemini. How do we start? Well, first of all, I've had a lot of awesome readings with Geminis this past month. Like beautiful, beautiful readings. Like I've met some really, really nice people. And I don't know, we seem to just be doing well. We are a bit emotional. We are going through the Venus retrograde pretty hard, but also depending on what your moon and rising aspects are, the way that Venus retrograde is being interpreted can be really hard. So the moon is here. Let's get the obvious stuff out of the way, right? If you're dealing with a Cancer, then things are coming to light and it's not easy right now. But also the moon is about things being revealed. And I think this Venus retrograde, what it's doing for a lot of Geminis is that it's making you do something that you usually don't do, which is focus your intent backwards. But of course you're doing it with the intention of moving forward. Like it's being done with the intent that you'll learn something that will then propel your growth forward, right? But you need to look back, and that's what Venus retrograde is about. It's about looking back at your love and seeing where maybe you weren't letting this light shine. Seeing where maybe you knew that things weren't the way the story you were telling yourself are, right? Like, sorry. It's a very complicated syntax. I'm sorry, I apologize. We're so good at distracting ourselves from the truth, because what's the truth, right? I had a hard time even saying that. Like, the truth can be so subjective depending on your perception, right? And we're so good at understanding the duality of perception that it's a slippery slope. We can very easily end up deluding ourselves and not allowing this light to shine. And instead, remember, this is a card of illuminating the secret, places, but it's also a card of secrets. And a lot of times we distract ourselves because we want to keep secrets from ourselves, because we know that we're insightful enough and rabid enough when we're looking for the truth, that if we don't distract ourselves, we'll have to admit things and bring things to light that perhaps we don't want to admit. And I think the Venus retrograde, the way that that's manifested itself during the retrograde is like you're having to look at your previous love relationships and look at, what was that person actually like? Not what you made that person in your head, or not what you desperately needed or wanted that person to be, but what are they really? What are they showing you that they are? Right? Not in your head. And this is maybe not a question that we ask ourselves enough as Geminis. And is that person that you're putting so much into, or the person that you love, Are they your friend? Is that just somebody that you've built up to be something so you can have somebody to love? Or is that person really adding something to your life? Is that person, or those people you hang on to, or those relationships from the past that you can't let go of, or the thing that's come up during this retrograde that's bugging you, is that person or that situation, that money situation, it could very easily be, that business partnership, is it honest? Is that actually what's going on, or is that what you're pretending that it is? Because look, we are really good at pretending, okay? We're good at pretending with others, and we're very good at pretending with ourselves. And while one can be a bit morally reprehensible, but understandable, everybody lies to each other a little bit. When we lie to ourselves, we get into some really murky territory. And we've come upon a time where we are being called to be very rational. And this doesn't mean we can't be whimsical and manifest from a place of fantasy. No, not at all. It doesn't mean that. It means that we need to be rational in terms of what are we hanging on to and what needs to be cut away. What psychic strings do we need to chop away right now? Because the reality of who that string is attached to, or what that string is attached to, is so different from what we wish it was and what we've convinced ourselves that it is. And this retrograde is just showing you, whether you want to see it or not, you are going through it right now, Gemini, where you're like, oh, that hurts, but it's so true. It's not what I keep telling myself it is. This person is not the person of my dreams. He's a douchebag. Sorry, it's just what came up. This person that I've been hanging on for so long that I idealized, that person's actually kind of a dick. You know, whatever your version of this is. Sorry. I think because I'm cursing in the rambling videos, now I'm just getting like comfortable doing it here, but I don't even know if that's a curse because they say it on like USA and like basic cable, so. So let's talk about the other obvious thing that this Ace of Swords and the Moon is related to. The Mercury retrograde. It's going to be almost all month. Sorry, I know. That's why we're doing these videos early, because we got to get them done. Is it going to be easy? No. Was the last one easy? If my computer, okay, you know what's been happening now? What's been happening now is that my phone won't ring and my Skype won't ring and I won't get messages, but people are calling me. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it going to cause a lot of miscommunication? Is it a good time to just invest? Wait. The seeds that have been planted. I don't think you should do this. I think this is a watched pot never boils. Do you know that expression? My girlfriends from Maryland taught me that. A watched pot never boils. So let's look at these cards and I'll explain what I mean. I think that for you right now, it shouldn't be about watching what you've put into things and waiting for them to bloom or flower from the past. This is where you get caught, where you expect the reciprocity that isn't going to come from where you think it's going to come from. I think this is the wrong energy for you to have right now. I think right now, what you need to do instead, right? Every time we have these double cards with the same number, we have a choice. Right now, instead, I feel that instead of doing this, which would be really, he is literally standing still. Okay, I just talked about in the Virgo video how standing still is the same as atrophy. There's actually no such thing as standing still. You're either growing or you're degenerating. So this standing still is a choice, or we can reach a place of emotional safety. I mean, it's a hard road. He's got 2 different shoes on and his clothes are all messed up, and he's obviously not like calm at the moment. There's obviously like something's going down, but he's still in a place where he feels like he can handle it. And I think you get to that place of emotional victory by illuminating those dark corners in yourself and being honest with yourself about the people that you need to let go of now. Like, people you just need to be done with. And I know, like, listen, I get it, because it's been like Saturn has really been messing with us, and now like the Venus retrograde has been so painful, right? And now the Mercury retrograde is going to be like even more painful. I get it. I get that, like, this has not been an easy, couple of years. And I get that even though April is going to be exciting and fun, it's not going to be easy. I get that you're going to slip in and out of these 2 modes depending on which twin is having, the time. But what I'll tell you is, because this is heavy, okay, and we haven't really had a heavy reading in a while, what I would say is that you need to, you remember in Fight Club, he says, he goes to these meetings where the people they have like terminal illnesses, and they're being taught visualization meditation. So in Fight Club, he joins one of these groups, and in that group, he learns a visualization meditation where they teach him to find his cave. Okay, and then other places in the movie, when he feels really upset, he goes to his cave. What I need you guys to do this month, because of the retrograde and because we don't want to do this with everyone, which becomes so easy for us, like everybody gets on our last nerve, that other twin is just waiting to come out and hit you in your weak spot. We've got some pretty sharp weapons, don't get it twisted. This can also be a weapon, this kind of illumination and insight, but also just the moodiness, the mercurial, weirdness that happens to Geminis and Virgos during a retrograde, like all of that. We want to counteract this energy with a really, really positive self-image. And this is what, leading out of April, we're going to get into. So we're going to go from a time of confusion but also, okay, let's put it this way, clarity, but then this clarity causing confusion because we just bump into this retrograde. So we're coming out of a time where we're pretty clear on the realities and where we're distracting ourselves, and we've had the light shining on us, and we know what we need to get rid of, and we naturally feel like getting rid of it. This is not a forced thing. This is like when the universe swoops in and goes, cut, or like I used to say when I was younger and ruthless, next. So this clarity leads to, a place where you're kind of fighting for your existence because you're fighting against a pattern and a past that you want to let go of, and cosmically you're being pushed to let go of, and it's harrowing. It's not an easy process. This, like I said, dude's got mismatched shoes on. Not in a, not a good look. Not a good look. And but the point being, you can be here, Mercury ruled Gemini. I just had this conversation with Virgo. You can be here, moving forward. Is it hard? Is it uncomfortable? Yes, but is it moving forward? Or you can be here. You can stand still and just watch and wait. And we know you're not going to do that, so let's not even. But that doesn't mean you should fight. Not, just because I'm saying a watch pot never boils doesn't mean I need you to get in everybody's face and tell them how they're getting on your last nerve, even though we know they're getting on your last nerve because they're stupid. Right? That's how we think. So instead, please go find your cave, go into your cave when you need it, and meditate on this, and meditate on the person that you will be coming out of April being, which is someone who is put down this bag of bricks. What are you holding on to these people for? These people. No. Why are we holding on to this? These people. Why are we holding on to all this when there's all this in the background? When we could just as easily be here. This is the time. With this new moon, we're releasing, and like, look at the card underneath. Fast, quickly. Putting down, what I call it is a bag of bricks. All that stuff, that obligation that other signs feel to people and their feelings, and no, bags of bricks. Not me. That's not my problem. I'm sorry, that's not my problem. I gotta move forward. You know, does that make me the bad guy sometimes? You betcha. Not even worried about it. I gotta move forward. I gotta do what's right for me. And you know what? I'm already starting to exhibit the energy of Mars, which is going to come into Gemini during Mercury retrograde. Do you understand? Mars comes into Gemini during Mercury retrograde. Mars wants to fight. Mercury retrograde slows everything down. Mars wants to move. This one's got the brakes. This is like when I had the safety brake on, when I had the emergency brake on the car, and I was driving it anyway, and it was driving weird. And I was like, why is it driving weird? Why won't it move? Because the brake's on, right? But we're going to be doing this. We're going to be effing up the transmission of the car. Sorry, I drive stick shift in Denmark, so now everything is like in terms of gears. But we're gonna be trying to shift gears and get the car moving while the safety is on. That's what Mars in Gemini during Mercury retrograde looks like. So when I tell you that, I mean, even you are gonna get on your last nerve. You understand? Everybody's gonna get on your last nerve. Everybody. And this is happening. This isn't even at the beginning of the month. This is towards the end of the month. So all you've got to do, that's why I'm saying this is your spirit animal. This is the person that you are becoming in your cave that you need to go to and be in whenever you feel like it, whenever you need it, because you need to let this energy flow now. The energy of abundance is going to come to you, but it's not going to come to you in the ways that you think it's going to come to you, and it's not going to come to you from the directions you think it's going to come to you. If you think it's going to come to you in terms of love, it may come to you in terms of money. If you think it's going to come to you in terms of money, it may come to you in terms of just sheer luck. Don't worry about the package that the gift comes in. Open it and utilize it and enjoy it. And the way you do that is during this retrograde and Mars in Gemini and Venus retrograde. Good Lord. Go into your cave and become and build this person in your head. Who is she? She is a stable earth sign goddess kind of person, okay? This person has everything she wants. She's chilling. She's good. Right? This is the person that we need to spend our energy imagining, because if we stay in our reality right now, we are going to really get into it. Now, that doesn't make sense because you said this is now confusing because you said don't distract yourself. Now you're saying distract yourself. Yes, that's true. Don't distract. You're coming out of a time where you have not been able to distract yourself from the truth of the relationships you've been in via the Venus retrograde. This has made you take a hard look at things and people and dynamics in your life and get rid of a lot of stuff, okay? That period of distraction, and that's those particular things that you were distracted about. Now that you've had clarity on that and light has been shed on that, you reach this place, right, where you go back and forth because of retrograde in Mars, where you're advancing, standing still, advancing, standing still. And during this period of growth, now the retrograde comes in and starts making this mess, okay? I understand. So, was it great that you were not distracted and you had to take a hard look? Yes. Now, can we go back to distracting ourselves? because we cannot be in this environment with this retrograde, and we need to find a cave, and we need to find a spirit animal to focus on that we can, you know, embody as we come into spring and as we come into our season. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So there you have it, Gemini. Fast reading for a fast sign, done quickly, you know, as the wave of the retrograde approaches, and I just want to get it done and communicate properly before everything just so wonderful. Now that that is out of the way, not that we were trying to get it out of the way, but I am rushing a little bit because these retrogrades have been super heavy on me. So, having said that, my San Francisco plans are evolving. I will actually be there for longer than I thought. I'll be there from the 1st to the 7th, and from the 8th from the 1st to the 7th, and the 12th to the 18th. I am doing personal readings. I'm also doing meet and greets. I am also doing group readings, but my slots are filling up really, really quickly. So please reach out to me ASAP. I'll leave my email address below. And I will be in LA, and I will be doing a few readings because I will mainly just be hanging out with friends. So if you are in LA and you would like a reading, please reach out to me quickly because I don't have a lot of time while I'm there. Also, in the spring, there will be a book coming out called The Tarot of Inner Work. There will also be an audiobook that will, an accompanying audiobook that I will narrate myself. And that book will be about how you can use tarot and different spreads and what the different cards mean to facilitate a greater understanding of self and to do, you know, to gain insight into yourself and different methodologies you can use and modalities of healing that you can use using tarot to facilitate inner growth. Okay? So that will come out in the spring. I will keep you updated about that. The best way to keep in touch with me or to reach me is obviously either through my email, but also to find out in terms of news and what's going on and where I'm going to be, Instagram at AmberKhan. And then what else did I want to tell you? Right, I'm also going to be offering videos, 45-minute videos on each sign, depending on whether they're male or female. And those 45-minute videos will be for sale. And basically, they're going to go into what that sign likes, what they don't like, how to turn them on, how to turn them off, how to get them to stop bothering you, how to get them to contact you, just things that I've learned along the way and using the different insights that I have into the signs to give you a pretty rounded picture of what you're dealing with, what colors they like, how you should dress, how to flirt with them. So like skimming all of those in like a 45-minute. I mean, I could personally go on about each sign forever in that way. So when I say it's cursory, it may seem cursory to me, but it may seem really in-depth to you. So that's also something to look forward to. I will be announcing the dates for the release of those videos for sale on Instagram and on Facebook. And those will be available for purchase through my Facebook page, and you can also purchase readings on my Facebook page. I've been meaning to mention that. You've always been able to do that, but I never mention it. And so I think that's why people reach out to me instead. But all the prices and all the options and everything is there. And you can absolutely buy a reading or purchase a reading through the Facebook page. It's like some people, I guess, think it's safer, or you know, it all ends up going through PayPal anyway. But yeah, I think some people just okay. So I'm going to stop messing with my hair, and those are all the announcements I have. Also, I would just like to say on a personal note, and I'm going to not get emotional. You guys have been the best. Every reading I've had with the Gemini this past month has been so positive and so uplifting, and you guys are so full of love and support. I mean, we get each other, and so we don't need to be all like sappy and like, you know, emo with each other, but like you guys mean so much to me. Thank you. It means a lot. So, go be awesome. Find your cave. Go to it. Take it easy. Remember, the emergency brake is on. Doesn't matter how fast you want to go. Right now, take it slow. Be easy. I adore you guys. I love you. I'll see you in May for our birthdays. My birthday's the end of May, but our collective season starting. Yay, spring! Have a beautiful beginning of spring. I'll see you soon.